Welcome back! Hello, students. I'm so happy to see you. I'm happy to see you on the live stream. How about that? Be sure to message your names, and that way we can take attendance after the class, after the lesson. And we did entrepreneurship, so now we're on to part 2, which is social media marketing. All right. Also, I want to tell you that there's another sheet that I want you to follow along with. So go to the drive, the Google Drive. It looks like this. There's 2 pages to it. It's for lesson 5. Doesn't say it on the top, but it is for lesson 5. And download that because you're going to follow along with it. Okay. Today we're going to review the strategy stuff, and then we're going to talk about content marketing, which is kind of a fun topic, so I'm excited. All right, let's look at metrics, which seem to be kind of an issue with a couple of you guys. You emailed me asking me a lot of questions about metrics, so I'm happy to answer those now. But more importantly, I want to ask you, who likes tea? Yeah, me too. I also like tea. And there's a company called Steez Tea. Wow, look at that tea. That looks so delicious. All right, good. So we're going to talk about them. Steez Tea is popular in the USA, okay? In 2010, so we're going back a little bit, they began selling this tea in grocery stores around the USA. Okay. And the brand did really well. It's amazing. They grew from 100 stores to more than 1,500, more than 1,500. Mot ni nam cham siok ti hun. All right, so a lot of stores nationwide. And the company wants to continue to grow. Obviously, they want to make more money. They want to continue to head towards their vision. So we're going to help them. 2011, their growth objective was they wanted everyone to be aware of Steez Tea. They wanted people to be talking about Steez Tea. They wanted, if people mention Steez Tea, to know the product that the person's talking about. So they want nationwide awareness, and they want to increase sales at their grocery stores. So let's help them. One thing, their target market is women who are active. They live in large cities in the USA, and they like to escape on the weekends. Okay, so that's their target market. We're going to write a SMART goal based on growth objectives, on these growth objectives, the 2011 growth objectives, and we're going to set some social media tasks. Okay, so I want you to write a SMART goal. Write a SMART goal. Remember, we already talked about SMART. It has to be specific. It has to be measurable. So there has to be some sort of number or some sort of finished task that you can point to and say, we did it. So it doesn't have to be a number. They could say to release a new product by a certain date. Yeah, that doesn't have a number attached to it, but it is measurable. It has to be achievable. You have to be able to achieve it. It has to be relevant. It has to be related to whatever vision you're trying to grow and whatever growth objectives you have. And it has to be time-based. Okay, so write a SMART goal. Okay, so I'll give you a moment to do that. A SMART goal. Okay, I'm going to assume that you're done. Give you a little longer. Just one goal that supports either one of these. It doesn't have to be both. You could write a goal to support people knowing about Steez Tea, a certain number of people knowing about it, or increasing sales through grocery store. Okay. Once you have that, then I want you to list 2 tasks. Only list 2 tasks. Don't do the rest of this. Just just these two squares. Social media tasks, only this column. Okay, I want you to choose 2 social media tasks that will support your SMART goal. Okay, now I want you to choose 2 tasks that are related, that include social media somehow. Okay, so don't say sell product in 3 more stores, because that's not social media related. Choose 2 tasks that are social media related that help you towards your SMART goal. I'll give you a moment to do that. And then I will give you some examples. So I want you to do yours first, and then we'll look at some examples that I came up with. Two. Hi, Kai. Okay. So let's look at my examples. Okay. So we have I'll give you a SMART goal to increase sales in grocery stores by 25% by the end of 2011. So that directly goes to their growth objective of increasing sales through grocery stores. See that? Okay. And so an example of a task we could do to meet that sales growth goal, SMART goal, is send coupons on Facebook. Okay, so we could send coupons to all of our fans on Facebook and say, we'll give you 20% discount on this product if you come to our store and spend this amount, or something like that. Okay, so we give them coupons, which brings them to the store. For example, if we say we will give you 50% off a jug of milk, they might go to the store, buy the milk, but they might also buy a candy bar, and they might buy some tomatoes, what other groceries they have, and then, but we used Facebook as a way to reach those customers. Okay, another example of a SMART goal could be to average a 10% increase of market reach each month. So we would determine our market size, and then we would look for a 10% increase each month on average throughout 2011. Wow, that would be great. Okay, 2011. 2020 would be better. All right. I don't know why I wrote 2011. Okay, so a task could be to track what our target markets are saying about our product online. So that we didn't name a specific social media tool in that one, but tracking what our customers say about our product, that would be one of the tasks that we do in order to reach this 10% increase. So we could look at them and say, are their needs being met? Are they happy with the product? Is there any changes? Are there any complaints about the product? That would be something we would do online through social media. We're tracking that information in order to meet this goal. Again, the tasks support the goal supports the vision of the company. Okay, another example of the SMART goal is to reach 100,000 new customers by the end. What was I doing 2011? I don't know. Oh, because that was the initial timing. Okay, to reach 100,000 new customers by the end of 2011. To create online communities. Okay, so that would be one of the tasks, to create an online community, and that would support the goal of reaching 100,000 new customers by the end of 2011, which is the year we're going for. Great. Okay, so you've got your SMART goal, you've got your tasks. Now let's move on with the rest of this. Oh, actually, I want to give you what Steve's Tea actually did. Okay, so Steve's Tea, they released internet coupons, okay? And they encouraged moms to share the deals. So they were allowed to use the coupon, but also forward it to friends to allow them to get the discount as well, okay? So they released on Facebook and other social media tools, they released the coupon and said, you get a discount, but you can also give it to your friends. So it's not just the people they send it to. They're also encouraging people to send it to others. Wow. And if you like Steve's tea, you might send that to additional people. Okay. They did social media marketing. They created Facebook and Twitter accounts and ran advertising, trying to promote Steve's tea, get people to know that brand. Okay. They also set up metrics to track what people said about that brand and if people commented on that advertising. Okay. And they got 2.7 million impressions, meaning people clicked on it or followed it or did some activity. Impressions, okay? 2.7, impressions means people saw it. They had almost 2,000 clicks on it, okay? They also had a Twitter party, okay? So people went to grocery stores and they tweeted about the event. So they encouraged people to go to the grocery stores and to tweet and say, yay, we're buying Steve's tea. And they got discounts and things like that when they did that, okay? So because of those discounts and the party on Twitter, they got 2,800 tweets in only 1 hour. Okay, I think it was that if you tweeted, you got a free can of Steve's tea. So imagine all those people, on Twitter. Think about your use of Twitter. You follow people who you respect or who you think are interesting, okay, or maybe you're related to them or you're friends with them, and if they post about a product, you're going to consider that product a little higher than if you saw an advertisement for it, for example. And imagine this, if you see your friend tweet about Steve's tea, and then you go to Facebook and you see an advertisement for Steve's tea, you might think, oh, cool, yeah, Steve's tea is a good brand, I like that. And then you receive a coupon that says you get half off or maybe one free can of Steve's tea. That works, that gets people motivated, okay? They also did pay-per-click searching, okay? And what that means is it pushed up anytime anyone searched for the word tea or like drink or anything like that, they paid so that their search engine result would come higher than others. So they put a lot of money into that. They used Google tools to increase 20,000 visitors to their website. So when people entered things, they came up high, people click on their website, they go to Steve's Tea, and they start interacting with the product. They start learning about the product. Yeah. They also wrote a blog, okay? They put out information about the news, ingredients. The whole idea was trying to create an excitement around this product. Just like I gave an example of BTS, people might be a fan. Before social media, people were fans of BTS. But using social media tools, you can become a diehard fan, and you can tap into these communities that people get super excited about being BTS fans. So they were trying to create that same excitement for Steve's Tea. Okay? They also sent emails, and you could opt in, meaning you gave them your email address to then be able to receive news and coupons for Steve's Tea. Wow. Okay, that's a lot of stuff they did. Okay, now each one of these tools, each one of these activities, these tasks, can be tracked using metrics. So, what metric did they use for each of their tasks? Okay, so with internet coupons. Okay, again, internet coupons. They let me ask you, what? Oh, I don't have a video right now. Let me ask you. Can't view your comments. Oh, here we go. Let me ask you, what metric did they track when they released those internet coupons? Okay, I'd like to get an answer. And I'll answer your question in just a moment. Let me see if a student can answer this one first. Internet coupons, released all across different social media platforms. Coupon rate? Coupon rate refers to a financial concept, so it's not that. Coupons are what you can give to a store and get a discount. So for example, maybe coupons are very common now on apps. So if you go to Vinmart often, you can use coupons through their app. The coffee house also has an app that offers you coupons. It basically allows you discounts on things. So how can we track coupon use? What do you think? Yeah, very good, Big Fung. Yeah, it's the number of coupons used. That's right. And so, for example, if people print them out, they count how many were handed in to the store. Or if there's a code they give them, they can count how many times that code was used. That would be a great metric to use to identify if this is working. Yeah, if people are actually using the coupon. Okay. What about social media marketing? What are some metrics we can use to track if our advertising is working? What do you think? This kind of gives it some idea, some help. What do you think? Man, my internet is really bad. Can anyone think of a metric that Steve's T can use to decide if their advertising is working? If people are viewing and reacting? Trending data based on the number of shares? Sure, absolutely. If people are sharing the advertising, then that would be something we can track. Again, impressions means how many people viewed the advertising, and we can count how many times. Facebook offers that information when you run advertising. How many people viewed your advertisements? Also, Twitter also offers it. We can count the number of clicks. We can count the number of likes. So many things like that. Yeah. Okay. Also, Facebook and Twitter can offer how long the advertisement was on people's screens. Okay? The average length of time it was on people's screens. People looking at it, curious about it. Yeah, how many people reacted to the advertisement? Number of views. Very, very good. What about the Twitter party? What can we track? What metric can we track in order to determine how successful this one is? Number of shares or number of retweets, maybe? Okay. The number of tweets, number of comments. Yeah, that's right. These are all metrics that we can use to track the success of our tools, of our online promotional tools. You see? That's one of the key things about social media that makes it so great. And so Facebook has a lot of tools, a lot of tracking metrics that we can track. We can track the number of views of content. We can track the number of likes of something. So, for example, if somebody posts a video, let me say this: if you post a video or a picture on Facebook, don't you like to see how many people liked your picture? Don't you like to see how many people put the little heart? These are all different ways of tracking the success of that picture. So companies do the same thing. When they post a video, they like to see how many people liked it. What did people say about it? How many people shared their video? It's the same for a company as it is for you. You track metrics of how successful the content you post on Facebook is. Facebook offers additional metrics to track to companies that pay extra money. Things like, If you create like I said, if you run advertising, you can track how many views you got, how many times it was loaded to people's Facebook accounts. You could see where people were viewing it from. So maybe like a certain region or an area of a country or a city, if there were more people reacting in that area than others, things like that. Okay, and then pay-per-click. How can we track the success of our efforts to get our website higher on Google? What do you think? What could we track to see the success of using tools to help move us up in search results? It's also called search engine optimization, or SEO. Some of you might have heard of these before. We talk about it in actually next lesson, we talk about it. Anybody have an idea of what we could track to see if our efforts to get our website higher? Google Analytics, okay. So how many people clicked on our website? How many people, where were they from? Sure, yeah. We can also put a counter on our website, and it counts the number of people who view. It counts how long people were on our website, what pages they went to, things like that. Google Analytics is one of those tools that can help us. But there's many tools that are available to us. If you design your website through WordPress or I think there was one called Joomla and there was one called Drupal. There's many formats of designing websites. There's a lot of tools that plug right into the platforms that your website is based on that can easily track metrics like this. Good. What about blog? How can we measure the success of our blog? Any ideas? Any ideas about how to measure the success of a blog? Yeah. Now, Queen, you say number of backlinks. Backlinks simply means that people who come to your website. So from outside of your website to your website. SEMrush, yeah. The most valuable tool for a blog is to see how many viewers you got and then how many people commented and what they commented. Yeah, but certainly there are other tools. Yeah, number of visits. There are other tools that you could use to track metrics. It depends on what metrics you want to track, what information you want to know. Okay, good. And email. How can we track the success of our email newsletter with all of the updates to our product and coupons and things like that? Any ideas of tracking the success of an email campaign? The number of replies, okay? We don't really reply to newsletters. Usually, if you reply to a newsletter, it doesn't go anywhere. A newsletter is what you would receive if you, like for example, again, maybe you love BTS. You sign up for a newsletter so you can learn about, they send you an email once a week that talks about upcoming concerts and album updates and things like that. Yeah, there we go. Very good, None. The number of people registered for new updates. Yeah, the number of people who are registered for the newsletter. That would be a very good metric to track to see if it's being successful. If more people are requesting to be on the newsletter, then you know that it's working somehow. Mm-hmm. Very, very good. Okay, so what I want you to do is on your sheet, here, I'll have you fill out the rest of these. So for your social media tasks, I want you to identify what social media tools you will use. So are you going to use Reddit? Are you going to use YouTube? Are you going to use Facebook? Are you going to use Spotify? Are you going to use... Remember, there's hundreds of social media tools available to you. So I want you to identify which of those tools, or maybe tools isn't the right word, platforms. Which platforms are you going to use to do your tasks? Frequency is how often are you going to do it? And then metrics to track, I want you to consider what metrics can you use to track your tasks, the success of your tasks. Okay? So go ahead and do that. And while you're doing that, I would look for questions. If you have any questions, you can message me. Wait for you to fill out this sheet. Remember, you're only doing the SMART goal, the 2 social media tasks, the social media tools to use, the frequency, and the metrics to track. The social media tasks have to be online based, and I gave you some examples of those. You're supposed to write 2. The social media tools to use are like, what social media are you going to use? Remember, there's hundreds of platforms. You could use Facebook, could be Twitter, could be YouTube, could be, there's so many. Spotify, there's Groupon, there's so many. Okay, and then what frequency? How often are you going to do it? Yes, you need to submit these today. I'm walking you through it, so you should be able to submit it. Okay, and then metrics. What metrics are you going to track? Okay. All right, let's move on. Okay. So, what happened when Steve's Tea did all of this? They sold all of their tea. And I mean all of their tea. Yeah. Everybody freaked out. They bought all their tea. Yeah, those coupons really worked. Okay? Now, people they achieved their objectives. People knew about their tea and they increased sales in grocery stores. But when these things happen, it created a lot of unhappy people, a lot of frustrated people. People came with their coupons. They wanted to buy their Steve's Tea, but they couldn't because it was all sold out. Yeah, so the company, what they did worked too well. And so it actually created a lot of people saying bad things on blogs, on Facebook, on Google. They said some not very nice things about Steve's Tea in reaction because it happened too well. So that is one thing you have to consider is social media is an excellent tool. And sometimes if you set up a strategy too well, it might work beyond what you expect, and you can end up like something like this. So frustrating customers. Yeah. Not happy. Okay. So what type of metrics did you use? Okay. So on this sheet, the next piece is what type of metric. Okay. I want you for the metrics that you chose. So in metrics to track, you wrote something there. What type of metric? This is what I'm going to help you with now. We have consumption metrics, sharing metrics, lead generation metrics, and sales metrics. Consumption metrics is how many people viewed it, how many downloaded it, how many people consumed what you posted. So this would also include how many people used the coupons, how many people paid the website views, things like that. So that would be consumption metrics, okay? So if you're tracking how many people used whatever you put out, if you're tracking how many people viewed a certain a certain advertisement or something, then that would be consumption metrics. So write consumption metrics there. If that doesn't match what metric you're tracking, you might match sharing metrics. Okay, this is How often do people share it? How often do people retweet it? How often do people forward it to a friend? If it's through an email, maybe they forward it to a friend. How often do people link to it? If you create a blog and you can count how many links go to your blog. Yeah, certainly. Okay, if that doesn't describe what metric you're tracking, maybe lead generation metrics is what you're tracking. Lead generation metrics means that you get some information so you can contact someone later. So for example, with their newsletter, they collect email addresses so that they can then send them that newsletter. Those are called leads, okay? You have the name or some contact information of a specific customer interested in your product. That is a lead, and you can send them, send special information or an email to those specific leads. So lead generation metrics are any metrics that actually count the number of contacts, the number of information, specific contactable information of each of the people that might buy your product. And sales metrics, finally, are how much did you sell? So this would be like if you have a website, you can count how many cans of Steve's tea you actually sold through your website, if that's an option. Yeah. Okay, let me check my phone to see if you have any questions. So the assignment, you were supposed to, this is like the 5th time I've said this, you were supposed to set a SMART goal for Steve's tea. You were supposed to write 2 tasks. I gave you examples, you have to write your own. Write the social media tools that you would use to do your online tasks. Write the frequency, how many times you do it. Are you going to do it every day? Are you going to do it weekly? Are you going to do it monthly? Is it one time only? That's the frequency. Metrics, how are you going to track the success of that task? What type of metric is it that you're using? Please listen, guys. It's not easy to teach to a camera. So it's important that you listen, especially since I repeat myself so many times. Okay, last one. Okay, I want to mention that we have 2 types of data. We talked about this actually in our first marketing class. This is just to remind you that metrics don't always have to be numbers. Okay, we can also use qualitative data to track the success of something. So quantitative means there's a number attached to it. This could be the number of views of a website you see. This could be the number of minutes somebody interacts with, or the average number of minutes that somebody watches your online video, something like that. That's a quantitative data. Qualitative is what people say about it. Are people saying good things about it, or are they saying bad things about it? Okay, and what is it that they're saying? Okay, this doesn't have a number attached to it. This would be rather, you would describe this data using characteristics, like people have said good things about it. And these are some of the ideas that we can take from what they've said. That's how you would describe that kind of data. So quantitative, number of followers or fans. Okay, engagement. Okay, how long did people? Well, let's not say how long. How many people liked it? How many people retweeted it? Okay, timing. Okay, what time did people watch your video? That could really help you understand when you should post certain things to your Facebook, when you should post things to YouTube. What time do people view the content that you put out? Okay, and qualitative. We could look at who are our influencers. What kind of people like our product? Okay, who is it that likes our product and posts about our product, and many people follow them? That would be an interesting thing to learn and track, but you wouldn't necessarily be able to put a number to it. You understand? Okay. Sentiment, like what are people saying? Are people happy with our product or are they unhappy with our product? Are they happy with some content we released? Are they happy with an advertising that we did? Okay, what's the sentiment? Okay. Also, what are people saying about our competition? That could also be something very valuable to track. It's not necessarily a number we can put on it, but it's a metric we could track to say, this is sort of what people are saying about our competition, and this is what people say about us. And we might want to track that on a weekly or daily basis. Okay? Conversation drivers, what are people talking about that might be related to our product? Again, we can't put a number to it, but we certainly can put, we want to pay attention to it. So now I want you on your sheet to mention if it is qualitative or a quantitative metric that you're tracking. Let's see if you have any questions. Yep, you're only listing 2 tasks on your SMART goal. That is what we're working through. Now, certainly, any SMART goal that a company sets will have way more tasks. Way more tasks. Could be thousands of tasks attached to achieving some goal. I'm just asking you to list 2 because we don't have time for you to list thousands, okay? All right, I don't see any other questions or comments. Okay, let's move on. Okay, so, okay, this is the last slide I want to use for metrics. We're going to skip a few slides after this, but I want to see, you know what, actually, I'm going to skip this one because of time. Sorry, guys. Let's move ahead. Okay, I'm going to mention one thing. We're going to skip the example again because of time. We're going to skip the garlic Coca-Cola example. Sorry. It's not a real product. It's not a real product, okay. But social media has changed marketing. And with the first example with Steve's Tea, we looked at how it affects promotion, how we get people excited about our product. Remember, we can also use social media to hit the other 3 of the 4 Ps, okay? And the biggest use of social media, one of the key uses of social media for any of these, but especially these last 3, is collecting data about our customers and understanding what it is they're interested in. What are their needs? That would help us identify their, to adjust the product, understanding what their needs are. Understanding where they shop. That would help us with placement, understanding where to sell that product. Understanding what brand they expect or what they expect from our product. That would help us set pricing. Remember, pricing and quality are very much tied together, or assumptions about quality are very tied together. So if you have if you're tracking metrics and you're seeing that customers expect our brand to be very high-end, then we should consider increasing our price to match that high-end brand that people high-end, not really brand, high-end assumption that people have about our product. Yeah. Okay, so we can use metrics to do that. I'm just going to explain the example, okay? We're not actually going to do it again because of time. But if Coca-Cola released a garlic-flavored soda, they didn't. I made this picture. They did not release a garlic-flavored soda. Then we would certainly want to learn about what our customers say about the product, right? We're not interested in understanding the promotion side of it with this example. We instead want to know what people are saying about a product, okay? So in this case, we probably want to use qualitative metrics. They may be more interesting than our quantitative metrics are. Do you understand? So we would want to understand what people are saying. And so we might look on any number of social media tools where people come to talk about products. Facebook, blogs, we would look at blogs, we would look at Twitter, things like that. Yeah. Okay, guys, again, we're short on time, so I'm really sorry, but we're going to have to move forward. Some people are really curious about garlic flavored soda. I don't know if anyone's interested in garlic flavored cola, that might be an idea for you to look into for your entrepreneurship class. You wouldn't be able to do Coca-Cola, but you could do a garlic flavored soda under your own name. Yeah. Yen, you want to try it, huh? Maybe a mumthom soda. You could have garlic and mumthom and tiakaing soda. You want some of that? Okay, let's move on to content marketing, which is a fun topic because it only exists because social media is here, okay? But I want to do an example first before we even talk about it, okay? So let's look at soap, a fascinating topic. Okay, some of you may use Dove soap, maybe, some of you, okay? Dove is a product that is marketed more towards women, and yeah, it's a good soap. It's marketed to women to make them think that it'll keep your beauty intact. You'll be able to. It'll be soft on your skin, things like that. So let's look at their old marketing. So these are their old marketing. Let me go back. This is their new marketing, newer marketing. This is their old marketing. Okay, you can already see a pretty big difference, okay? Let's look at some commercials. And I think, who's this? Let's see. Okay. So we're gonna watch the first commercial. Oh. Okay. So that was Dove's old commercial. Okay, we're gonna watch another commercial, another old Dove commercial in a minute too. But are they making any kind of a connection with the people that they're trying to reach? Not really a good one. They're proving some qualities about. Whoops. They're trying to prove some qualities about the quality. The quality of the product and how it has a low pH, but it doesn't necessarily. Okay, let's see if we can get this to work. It doesn't necessarily tell us about who it's made for and why they would want to use it.
You are looking at Dove, the amazing new beauty discovery. See, even the shape of this new bath and toilet bar is different, modern, curved to fit your hand. You use Dove like soap, but Dove is completely new, revolutionary, much better for your skin.
Every bar of Dove is 1/4 cleansing cream. Dove is 1/4 cleansing cream. Soap dries your skin, but Dove creams your skin while you wash. Dove's rich lather cleans and creams your skin at the same time. Dove is 2 blessings in one.
You can feel the cream in Dove. You can smell Dove's creamy fragrance. Dove leaves your face, your hands, all of you, soft and smooth. Lever Brothers guarantees that Dove is better for your skin than any soap or your money back.
Okay. Yeah. So, does that make you want to buy Dove soap? Probably not. I don't even have to look at the comments. Yeah, those are they don't connect to the people that use the soap. You remember back to our first marketing class, I stressed the importance of making that connection with your target market. They need to understand what problem your product solves. This product was just telling their customers about a few characteristics of the product, a few features of the product. It didn't really get into the true benefits of the product. Okay? So let's look at what Dove is doing now. Okay? We're going to watch 2 videos. One was posted to YouTube, and then one was hosted on Facebook. Okay. You may have seen these before.
I always thought people were so cute when they have the little cheeks and they're like rosy, but mine are pretty plain.
I'm going to slow it down.
If I was going to change one feature about my face, I would...
Slow it down really quick. Okay.
I always thought people were so cute when they have the little cheeks and they're like rosy, but mine are pretty plain. If I was going to change one feature about my face, I would say that I would want fuller lips. I'm definitely a person that looks tired when I'm tired, and when people say that, I immediately am like, oh man. I'm starting to already get little crow's feet and stuff, which like my mom had, so yeah.
I'm a forensic artist. I was trained at the FBI Academy in 1993 in composite art. Worked for the San Jose Police Department as the police artist from 1995 to 2011.
We didn't really know what we were doing, so that was nerve-wracking for everyone.
I showed up to a place I'd never been and walked into this big warehouse, and at the very end there was a guy with his back to me with a drafting board.
I had a curtain separating me so that I don't see. We'll begin. First of all, tell me about your hair.
It's a little bit past my shoulder.
Know what he was doing, but then I could tell after several questions that he was drawing me.
Tell me about your chin.
I guess I haven't really compared it to anyone else's chin, but especially when like I smile, I just feel like it kind of protrudes a little bit.
What would be your most prominent feature?
I kind of have a fat, rounder face.
The older I've gotten, the more freckles I've gotten.
You sort of realize, oh man, now I have to talk about myself and think about my looks.
I'm 40, so I'm starting to get a little bit of the crow's feet thing going on.
Once I get a sketch, I say thank you very much, and then they leave. I don't see them.
I still didn't know. All I had been told before the sketch was to get friendly with this other woman, Chloe.
Today I'm going to ask you some questions about a person you met earlier, and I'm going to ask you some general questions about their face.
She was thin, so you could see her cheekbones. And her chin was a nice, thin chin.
The women were really critical about moles or scars or things like that, and yet they were describing just a normal, beautiful person.
She had nice eyes. They lit up when she spoke and were very expressive.
The length of the nose, what is that like?
It's short.
Short.
Yeah, cute nose.
Her face was fairly thin.
She had blue eyes, very nice blue eyes.
Okay. So this is your self-described image. And then somebody else described you in light of this sketch.
I have this whole thing about having dark circles and crow's feet around my eyes, and that was not part of the sketch at all that the stranger did. The stranger's was a little more like gentle.
That's very different. Which is very strange. She looks closed off and fatter. She just looks kind of shut down. Looks sadder, too. The second one is more beautiful.
I think they're catching more of that from you.
Yeah. She looks more open and friendly and happy. I've come a long way in how I see myself, but I think I still have some way to go.
I have some work to do on myself.
Do you think you're more beautiful than you say?
Yeah. Chloe's perception was so clearly different. Her picture looked like somebody I thought I would want to talk to and be friends with, like a happy, light, much younger, much brighter person. It's troubling. I should be more grateful of my natural beauty. It impacts the choices and the friends that we make, the jobs we apply for, how we treat our children. It impacts everything. It couldn't be more critical to your happiness.
Our self-perceptions are generally kind of harsh and unbecoming when really that's not how the world sees us. We spend a lot of time as women analyzing and trying to fix the things that aren't quite right, and we should spend more time appreciating the things that we do like.
Okay. A few of you said that's a little long. That's not even the long one. But because of time, we're gonna move on. Was it different? Let me ask you this. How long was Dove? So Dove paid for that. That was a commercial. That was something Dove released. How long was Dove on the screen? Maybe 4 seconds, 5 seconds? And where did they put Dove? Now, the old commercials had Dove. Dove, buy our soap. You'll love Dove because of these reasons. Okay? Push, push, push. No. This is called content marketing. Dove sponsored a video to connect with its customers. This isn't even really, it's an advertisement, but it's different than any other advertisement we'd seen before social media. This was something that women who felt this way, and a lot of women, this was something that they recognized in their market, in their target market. These women didn't feel like they were beautiful. They knew they were beautiful, yes, but they didn't feel it. They didn't believe it in themselves. And so this video connected with those kinds of people. and it made them happy, and it gave them hope, and it made them realize something about themselves, learn something about themselves. So instead of it being all about Dove, it's all about women. And so this video and the Facebook video, we don't have time for it, but I'll post a link in the comments. These are things that women who've watched this video, they identify with this video, and so they're going to post it on their Facebook. They're going to share it to their friends. They're going to like it. They're going to follow and watch future Dove advertisements because these advertisements connect with them, and it makes them feel better, and it gives them. It's more than an advertisement. It's something that represents that person. Think about all of the things that you post on Facebook. Occasionally, they're supported by brands. Probably more often than not, they're supported by brands. Some company put it out. They might put their brand in the very bottom corner, but you're posting it on Facebook because you identify with it, or you like it, or it made you laugh, or something, and you think others would like it. And that company that put that picture or that video out is along for the ride. And anybody who sees that video, anybody who watches this, they feel strongly. They feel like, yeah, maybe I am more beautiful than I think I am, right? And then once they have that feeling, Dove comes up and says, we'll help you realize your true beauty. And so it's impactful. Yeah. And some of you made the comment, this is a long video. Guys, that's what's also nice about advertising on social media, is that you're no longer bound by the cost, the expense of putting something on television. That's why TV commercials are pretty short, typically. It's because it's expensive to advertise on television. But on social media, it's very inexpensive. At least the hosting is. Making this video, making the content may have not been cheap, but it's effective. Yeah. And so this is Dove's approach. They put out advertising, not advertising. Well, yeah, we could call it advertising. Let's call it content advertising. They put out this content advertising to connect with women, with their target audience, and say, we understand you, and say, put out content that these women will post and will identify with and will put it out as representation of themselves. Yeah. So let's look at some more examples of that. Well, okay, like for example this. Do you think you're beautiful? Okay? Yeah. Dove's down here, sorry, it got cut off. But yeah, it's in the very bottom corner. Yeah. Here we have Dove, very bottom, right? Which one is it? Gray or gorgeous? Withered or wonderful? Flawed or flawless? Okay? Yeah. It shows women their true beauty. It helps these members of this target market to remember that they are beautiful. This is included on your handout, and so I'm not going to read it, but you can read it, and it gives some interesting reaction to the content they put out. Okay, I'm going to skip this because of time. All right, so in the past, we had advertising, okay? And advertising was intrusive. You're watching your favorite TV show, and suddenly in the middle of your TV show, you've got to watch a bunch of advertising. And it's in your face, and it's loud, and they're trying to catch your attention. And when you get up to go to the kitchen to get a drink of water or a snack, they're trying to make it loud so you can hear it in the other room. Yeah, this was old marketing. You know, even billboards, they try to catch your attention. It's intrusive. It's flashy, trying to catch your attention any way they can. Okay, that's traditional marketing. Okay, yelling. Okay, right? This marketing focuses on features. Okay, what makes us? Why should you care about our product? We do all of these things. You look at the old Dove commercials, and it was all about we have a better pH, and we have lotion in our soap, so it feels better on your skin. Okay, these are all features, maybe advantages if they compare them to to competing products. It totally leaves out the benefits. And remember, the benefits answers, why should I care? Yeah, so in the past, this is what was happening, okay? Marketing was more about informing clients about the product than connecting with them, okay? It was, buy our product. This is why it's great. You should buy our product. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, that was what marketing was, that promotions were in the past, okay? But now things are different. Social media has created something called content marketing. Content marketing is focused on the benefits. It's about understanding your target market so well that you understand what they care about and what drives them and what their needs are. And then putting out content on social media platforms that people can identify with and may even use your content to describe themselves, okay? I've been talking a lot about social media. We can expand it to digital as well. Companies put out apps all the time that indirectly promote their company, but we use their apps because it helps us somehow. Nike has an app for running, tracking our running, right? We'll look at some other apps in a moment, okay? So traditional marketing, short-lived. You pass by that billboard and it's out of your mind, okay? You watch TV and you see a commercial, it lasts those few seconds and then it's gone. Content marketing lasts longer and it has the potential to go viral. If you put out something that's meaningful and people like it, they may send it to their friends may send it to their friends, and pretty soon it's spread across the globe. And it can last a very long time that way. Traditional marketing, very difficult to track, okay? We can track how many televisions were tuned into a certain television network to see how many people may have been watching a commercial, but we don't know how many people were sitting in the room. It's difficult to track television advertising. Billboards or magazine advertising or other types of advertising are incredibly difficult to track. Social media, we can track it so easily. We can tell you exactly how many people viewed that advertising. We can tell you exactly how many people clicked on it or used the coupon or anything like that. Yeah, social media allows this. Traditional marketing, one-sided push, buy our product. Hey, hello, buy our product. Don't forget about us. Content marketing, tell us about what you think. We're gonna put out this video, comment about it. Tell us, ask us questions. We'll interact with you. Okay? Traditional marketing, very difficult to hit a specific target market. Content marketing, much easier to narrow down into a very specific niche market and send them a specific message. Okay? Let's use Facebook, for example, because all of us use it and know about it. We can easily target people living in a very small area of Hanoi, for example, who meet certain age requirements. All of that information is available to us on Facebook. So we can set up an advertisement or we can set up content that goes just to those people. Yeah. Okay. Traditional marketing, difficult to be noticed over competition. Content marketing, new social media tools allow us opportunities to be captured. We already kind of talked about all of this. It's in your slides as well. We've already covered it. Again, old, pay attention to us. Buy our product. New, putting out something that people want to share. Putting out something that's meaningful to people. Okay? Apps, pictures, quotes, all of this stuff. So, these are, good content. Good content marketing, content advertising should entertain. People should be happy to watch it. It should inspire, okay? So it doesn't have to do all of these, but one of them at least. Entertain. Inspire, make you think about something different. Converse, something to talk about. Or talk about this way, or message and start talking about something, okay? Educate, learn something new. or convince somebody of something. Okay? So for example, Red Bull puts out tweets like, if it scares you, you should probably do it. And people think, oh, I like that. I identify with that. That's me. And so they retweet it. And you can see they had almost 2,000 retweets. Is that what that says? It's hard for me to read. Yeah. Almost 2,000 retweets from people who saw that and they thought, yeah, that describes me. Yep. Red Bull, another one. Don't wait for chances, take them. And people saw that and they thought, yeah, that's me too. Retweet. You understand? Here's one for the Minions movie, okay? And a lot of people people reached. Yeah, so this could be a post that you could boost and reach even more people. But yeah, people, this is content marketing. People like this. It's interesting to them. They don't even have to write that it's for the Minions movie. They're just capturing, getting excitement for the Minions. Charmin put out an app that helps you find a clean toilet. And so you use a public toilet and you mark on it if it's clean or dirty. So red means dirty, clean means, or green means clean. And so when you're walking around a city, you need to use the toilet, pull out that app. And so it's very useful to people. People would put this on their phone, but it's also tied to Charmin, who makes toilet paper. And so it connects anytime anyone needs to use a toilet. Oh yeah, Charmin, automatic, yeah. So this is what content marketing allows companies to do. Okay, this is types of content marketing, okay? So we can look at some are entertaining. You might have quizzes, you might have games, videos, competitions. These are all things that we can do on social media that entertains us. Now, some of these might also educate and other things, but, okay? Inspire, we might have a celebrity endorsement, somebody who's very accomplished. They might say, oh, Nike shoes are what got me to the top, something like that, okay? But again, on social media, so people can share it, comment on it, things like that. Okay, reviews might inspire someone to want to buy a product. Okay, educate could be, you might release an infographic, you might release like a ebook, or like you might set up a newsletter that people want to get to their email. You could, articles. And to convince people of things, you might put a calculator and say, we can save you this much money if you use our product. A checklist. These are the things you need to do to have a good vacation, and have your item as one of them, for example. Webinars, product features, case studies. All of these things are content marketing, and they are useful to people. They're not just an advertisement. It's not just buy our product. The actual content is useful to people. Does that make sense? Let me check, make sure you guys are. Okay. I don't see any updates, so let's continue. Okay, so let's talk about when content marketing goes wrong, and then when content marketing goes right. Let me check the time. Okay, we're good. All right, so when content marketing goes wrong, so Coca-Cola put out this, and they said, "Happy Holidays!" Okay, to Russia. The only problem is that Russia was having some. Let me just say, this represents a very old map of Russia. So there was certain areas that were not included, and other areas that were included on the map. So it was a highly political time, and so people were charged up when they saw this content advertising from Coca-Cola. And so they meant it as a nice thing, but people didn't see it that way. Yeah, so people were upset by this, and they shared it, but for the wrong reasons, and criticized Coca-Cola a lot. Okay, very evident in that. Oh, it actually ended up trending as ban Coca-Cola, hashtag ban Coca-Cola, for example. Microsoft. Microsoft put out a robot that followed the interests of its readers and retweeted tweets. And it ended up putting out like really racist, like really terrible, like racist, sexist tweets. And it ended up just, it took like an hour before it just started pumping out lots of racist tweets. And so they quickly shut it down because it just didn't work. People were going to be excited. It was going to be able to be a way of tapping into the minds of the people who really are passionate about Microsoft, and it unfortunately tapped into the minds of one specific group of people. So it got shut down. But what does it look like when it works? We don't have time to watch the video, but there's a company called Blend Tech, and they make really strong blenders, you know, like break up things. You can use it for making a shake or something like that. They make really strong blenders, and they blend different things. They blend like metal and glass and all these different things. And it's a big YouTube channel about will it blend. And so people love these. People will watch them, and they've got millions of views, and people share them, and it's funny. And you know, if a new movie comes out, they'll blend the toys and stuff like that. Okay, Best Western. They started a blog, and they had this famous woman named Amy go out, and she traveled the world and would talk about the cool places to go to, you know, how to plan a trip, all of this useful information, and she would stay at Best Western hotels. So she would stay at their hotels, but then everything else was about how to be a good traveler. And so people who like to travel, they would use her blog because it was very useful, but it was also connected to Best Western. So Best Western benefited from that. Coca-Cola has a lot of collectibles, signs and snow globes, anything. They have so much merchandise that people end up collecting it. And so Coca-Cola has hosted a blog written by a very famous historian about Coca-Cola memorables or collectibles. Yeah, so kind of interesting. People follow it. People who are passionate about Coca-Cola, they like to stay informed about the collectibles. And Dell, there's a video game called Second Life, and Dell made a customer service island where people on Second Life can go to that island and ask them questions about their computer. And so people, it's a useful, but it's also fun, and like, so remember video games, when they're mass multiplayer games, they're also a form of social media because the experience is user driven. Yeah, and so Dell made this. Yeah, so you could go there and ask questions. Kind of cool. Fujifilm created their own social media website, allowing people to share pictures. Okay, so they created a useful tool. People use it, but it also says Fujifilm on it. Excuse me. HP used Twitter to power a scavenger hunt. So people walked around trying to win HP printers and tweeting about it. Fun. Okay, let's move on. This is the last piece we're going to talk about, and we're going to go fast. Okay, so content planning. Okay, so when we're designing content, okay, you have to consider your vision, mission, and values, your company's strategy. Okay, what is it that you want to achieve? Okay. But then the most important is based on this beautiful communication process that we've talked about so many times. Okay? Just like me and you. I have a message. I want to tell you that marketing is cool. You are the receiver. So when I'm encoding my message, I need to think about, why do you care? What is it that drives you? What's interesting to you? Okay? What motivates you? This is key. This is extremely key to the creation of content marketing, because you want to create something that the message itself has to be useful. It has to be useful. It has to maybe allow people to communicate something about themselves. It has to be a tool that people could use. Yeah. And so when people decode it, when you send it to them and they decode it, which is another word for understanding, then they can use it as themselves. And then we have them responding to it, which is they retweet it, they post it on their Facebook, they follow it on YouTube, they do something. And then feedback allows us to track how successful our content is. So this would be the metric. So for example, with this live feed, the metric here is how many people are commenting. And what are they commenting? Yeah. And how many viewers are we getting? So if I'm getting lots of questions, I would adjust my message and I would think about how I could encode it and be useful to you. But again, on social media, the key to good content marketing is in the encoding, understanding the customer well enough that you can create a usable tool. Okay, that was a really fast overview of that. We will review content marketing next time. We'll review the whole content, the whole concept of content marketing. Let's jump into, let me see if there's any questions. Benign doesn't understand. Yes, remember, some of these concepts may be familiar. Len says, have we already learned about the knowledge, from the last marketing class? Yeah. Remember, this is social media marketing. So the first class last semester, or 2 semesters ago, I guess, was more about, I guess last year. Yeah. It was more about the principles of marketing. So you're going to see a lot of tools that come back. But I'm showing you how they have changed. So social media, it's a little bit different. And so it's more on encoding rather than offline marketing. Okay, but how do we know what is working? It's basically, you put something out and you hope that it catches. It's like creating a viral video. You put it out, you hope it goes viral. You've done everything you possibly can to try to get it to go viral. But then only if it goes viral will you know that it was worth going viral. You understand? You put it out and you hope it goes well, but then you track the metrics. And if the metrics show that it isn't, that people didn't react to it, you need to go back and adjust it and then encode it a different way. Send out your message. People will understand it somehow. They'll respond. You collect the metrics. That adjusts your the way that you send your message again. You encode it again, send the message, people decode it, and then they respond. So it's a continual process. We do our best to try to reach our market and connect with them through social media content. It may work, it may not work. Nike has released apps before that they supported and people downloaded it, but not enough people used it, and so they ended up deleting it. Yeah, so this happens all the time. We put out content that we think people will use. If they don't use it, we take it down. If people use it, great. We keep doing more content similar to that one. Okay. Let's talk about, let me check questions. Benign, I hope that made more sense. I covered it a second time for you. Okay. All right. Individual project. Okay, so update. This is actually, I'm going to have the next assignment due by next time. So by the end of next week. So I still don't know. I haven't heard. It may have been communicated to you guys, but I haven't heard yet if we're going to have class next week or not. If we do, then I'll see you guys on Thursday, and this will be due. If we don't, then it'll be due on Friday when lesson 6 is. Okay. So lesson 6 has you produce a strategic plan. Oh, sorry. You've already created your plan. Now you need to lay it out in the work plan XLS. So let's look at this sheet. Oh, Okay, just a moment to pull it up. Yeah. Okay. So this will look very similar to the previous assignment, and it's because the idea behind these assignments is to understand how social media can be used to establish branding. And what better way to learn than to use your own brand? And so in a couple of, pretty soon, you're going to be searching for your first job out of university. And your online brand can support you accessing jobs in the future. So when you set up your personal brand, when you set up your own strategy, the assignment you submitted earlier this week, you identified a vision for your future, what you were going to do, this idea of success in the future for yourself. You established a mission, how you were going to reach it, and then you established some goals, okay, and then some tasks. So and you did a SWOT as well. So all of these tools are used to try to support you, because over the next several weeks, you are actually going to do the tasks that you identified over social media. Okay? That's why for most of you, I said, please make your tasks online based, because these are things that you're actually going to do. And so this worksheet is what you're going to use to track the metrics to track your metrics, to see the level of success that you got from the activities you did on social media. So the worksheet, the Excel worksheet, has a place for your vision, and then you're going to outline the 3 SMART goals that you identified in your individual plan. Again, this is about you. It's not about a company you're setting up, although I gave approval to a couple of you want to set up your own company. This is more about you getting your first job after university and using social media to support you in that. So, SMART goal, and then tasks that you're going to do. So you identify the SMART goal from your paper. Use the same. You can still change them if you'd like, okay? But you identify 3 SMART goals, and then the tasks. And for example, you'll identify the social media activity or the task that you're going to do, the tools that you're using, how often you're doing it, resources, if you need money to be able to do it, if you need images, if you need a video camera, these are things that you need to consider before you actually do these tasks, if you need anything, okay? And then metrics, okay? So for example, I did one, there are 3 metrics that I'm tracking, 3 metrics I'm tracking. And so in week 7, I put in my metric. In week 8, I record my metric. Week 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, you record the metrics that you're tracking, okay? So again, this Excel sheet is related to the paper that you did that was due on Monday. You're going to use your 3 goals, 3 SMART goals, as your goals for this. And the tasks are things that you can do online. They have to be online, and they're things that you will actually do. So I know some of you had put things like spend $500 on Facebook advertising. You're probably not going to do that, so take that one off. Okay. I'm only requiring 2 tasks, but you can certainly write much more than that. But 2 tasks per goal are required, things that you're actually going to do. And then you track the success of those after. So on week 6, you're going to submit this to me, and then you start week 7. So you start doing the activities after you submit this to me, and then week 7, you write your metrics. Week 8, you write your metrics. Week 9, you write your metrics. So each week you're going to update your metrics that you're tracking. Okay. I went over that kind of fast. What's important is to understand that I've given you examples This is like the 5th time I've explained the assignment. Please do it correctly. It's about you. This is a tool to help you find your first job. Don't you want a job when you finish? Certainly you do. So I'm helping you with that. So lesson 6, you send the Excel plan that you're going to use. That includes the metrics. Lesson 7 through 13, you're doing the task and you're tracking your metrics. Lesson 14, you're going to write a short paper about what difference you saw before and after you did your social media tasks. It's going to be short. It's going to be like a page and a half, 2 pages. It's not a long paper. Okay. We'll talk about it later. So, again, because it's really important, your individual assignment, the vision and mission have to be for you, self-focused. What does your future look like? Do you want to be a successful business person? Do you want to have a job in accounting? What is it that you want to do? Your SWOT analysis looks at your strengths, looks at you and the opportunities you have after graduating. Okay, so your SWOT analysis is all about what are your strengths and weaknesses now that can help you get a job or hurt your chances. What are the opportunities for you to work in that industry or to get a job? And what are the threats that might stop you? That's what your SWOT is supposed to be. Your target market needs to focus on who you are trying to reach. Because remember, you're trying to get jobs. So you're trying to reach a certain group with your target, with your online content, your tasks. Okay. This is all. You've already submitted your paper, but some of you want to fix your paper and submit it to me again. All right. Your goals need to be SMART goals. There were so many students who gave me goals that were like redo my social media. That's not a SMART goal. It lacks time. It lacks something measurable. Yeah, they need to be SMART. Your tasks need to be online based. Your tasks need to be actual things that you can do in the next 5 weeks. Actual things that you really will do. All right. And yeah, you can resubmit your assignments. Most of you have, I think, like half the classes has big problems with this assignment. And so if you don't want that low score like a lot of you have, you can resubmit your assignment. The highest you can get is a 90, and that's if your paper's perfect. So if you have an 85, you don't really need to worry about it. If you have an 80, don't worry about it. If you have anything less than an 80, you'll probably want to fix your paper and resubmit. Okay, group project. I have these groups. I don't have, if you're not in one of these groups, or if you don't see your group up there, I don't have your paper, so you're getting zeros right now on any of the group activities. So once you join a group, you have to tell me, and then you'll start earning points. But right now, if you're not part of a group, 0. You're getting 0 on all group activities right now. Okay. And then each week you'll have a short paper to write as a group. This one's not bad. Identify 2 content marketing campaigns that your company uses. Okay. So for example, if you are doing the coffee house, one of them is they have an app. So that would be, it's not really social media, but it's content marketing. So yeah, so that would be one, is an app would be one of them. And then describe how each is used, a short description, it doesn't have to be long. And then does it entertain, does it inspire, converse, educate, or convince? It doesn't have to do all of those. It can do one of them, that's fine. Just tell me about it. And then include a screenshot of the marketing, of the content marketing. And that's all, yeah. 2 pages is fine. Double space, please. So that comes out to be about one paper long. If you use, actually, anytime you use content that is not yours, that you didn't use, you need in-text citations and references, okay? So when you take a screenshot of content marketing, you need to tell me where you got that. Let's do next time. If we're not in the classroom, this email address. You don't need to print one. If we're back in the classroom, print one sheet and submit it to me. Okay? Cool. All right, next time we'll talk about search engine optimization. All right, good. All right, guys, thank you so much. Again, if you have any questions, send me an email. I know there was problems with lag. I can't really do anything about that. I hope it wasn't too bad. And I hope that I see you again next week in person. If not, then we'll do this again. All right, thank you. Bye-bye.